the sheriff who hired the cop who killed Miss Massey has now retired. Okay, moments leading up to and after Deputy Sean Grayson fatally shooting. Here it is.
The body camera video reveals the events leading up to the horrific scene.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir. I'm sorry.
You doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine and stuff.
All right. Okay.
I love y'all. Thank y'all.
Inside the home, Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson can be heard asking Sonya Massey to check on the stove.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Within seconds, things become tense.
Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
I rebuke you in the name of
God, I swear to God, I'll shoot your
Okay, I'm sorry.
Massey starts to set down the pot and apologizes. Grayson fires 3 times, striking her in the face.
Headshot wound to female, 1078.
Prosecutors say Grayson's partner tried to give the 36-year-old first aid, even though Grayson discouraged him.
I'm gonna go get my kit. No, she's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot.
So per CNN, less than a month after one of his deputies, Sean Grayson, was indicted by a grand jury on charges of first-degree murder because he killed Miss Sonya Massey. Jack Campbell, the sheriff, has announced he will retire. Now, the governor told him to go last week. So he has announced he will retire by the end of the month, effective August 31st. Campbell made the announcement in a statement released on Friday afternoon. In his statement, Campbell expressed condolences to the Massey family, emphasized his efforts to present the facts and prevent future incidents. He would also claim that the current political climate hindered his ability to continue effectively in this role. No, you hindered your ability by being political. Because when you were criticized for the negligent hire of this deputy, who never should have been a cop in the first place, you blamed a system, a regulatory system of the state, rather than understanding the moment was to reform your office. You didn't. You chose not to announce any reforms. That state regulatory dynamic is the bare minimum. See, but minimum, you got to do this. You could do more, but at minimum, this is the uniform. There's more. In his statement, he expressed condolences to the Massey family, emphasized his efforts. Quote, some in our community want me to pay the price for that person's actions, even threatening that I pay that price with my life, my family's lives, or the lives of my deputies. Campbell said in a statement, we will only persevere together as a community if we turn down the temperature and resolve to do better. It was earlier last week when Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Lieutenant Governor called on Campbell to do what? Resign, leave of his handling of the fatal shooting, so the community could, quote, begin to rebuild and restore trust between citizens and the sheriff's department. The governor and the Lieutenant Governor Stratton adding, the community remains in fear. They calling the sheriff's office when they feel in danger will lead to another murder of an innocent resident. The governor released a statement Friday evening, one of the strongest I've heard in this type of situation this quickly, saying, quote, he hopes a fresh start with new leadership will usher in a new era of reform and rebuild the trust lost between the county community and the sheriff's office. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who represents the Massey family, said in the statement, Campbell's retirement, quote, marks a turning point in the ongoing pursuit of justice for Sonya Massey. Although the pain of her loss is still fresh, Sonya's family is willing to work with the outgoing sheriff for the remainder of his tenure to help heal the community and achieve full justice for Sonya. As previously reported, Massey called on 911 on July 6th to report a possible problem at her home near Springfield. After 2 deputies went into her home to investigate, one of them, then Deputy Grayson, shot and killed her following a dispute involving a pot of hot water. This was his contextualization of it. It was no dispute. It was him saying he was going to kill somebody, and then he ended up doing it. Exactly how he said he would. There's more. The bodycam footage from the other deputy, because the killing deputy did not turn his on. But the other deputy had his on, and we know what happened. It showed Ms. Massey saying, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And all of a sudden, he got the devil in him, just couldn't take that. The encounter ended with Grayson shooting Ms. Massey in the head, failing to render first aid. Massey's family said Sonya struggled with mental health issues, something they already knew upon arrival. Emergency calls by Massey and her mother obtained by CNN revealed law enforcement had awareness of Massey's mental health before the shooting. While the International Association of Chiefs of Police, which conducts training and recommends best practices for law enforcement, says officers are trained to recognize potential mental health crisis, it's unclear the deputies knew about her condition when they responded. But if you remember, the deputy said, are you mentally okay? Upon entering the home. I don't know about you, but when a cop says that in a very specific way and you just answer the door, they know something. The day before Ms. Massey was killed, her mother called 911 saying her daughter was having a mental health breakdown, but that she wasn't dangerous. I don't want you to think that you need to come up here and shoot her, but she needs some help. Okay, that's what the mother's saying. Quote, I don't want you guys to hurt her, please, was an actual quote as the mother's trying to engage the services she pays for through taxpayer dollars to get help. Local and state officials have criticized Grayson's actions as an unjustified use of deadly force. The 30-year-old former deputy was fired. He was then indicted by a grand jury on 3 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count each of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct in connection to the shooting. He has entered a plea of not guilty. He wanted pretrial release. Judge said no. Sheriff's office has been under scrutiny after it was disclosed that Grayson was discharged from the Army for serious misconduct, had a history of driving under the influence of alcohol, multiple DUI arrests, yet still managed to get employed since 2020 by 6 state law enforcement agencies. 3 of them as a part-time cop. Now, if you don't believe white privilege exists, I promise you with his rap, the man had a rap sheet, military dishonor. Damn near every cop agency applied for, he got the job. Massey's family and lawyers have called for an investigation into the hiring, citing concerns of his arrest record, frequent job changes. This would be called negligent hire. Negligent hire. If you would have just did your job and followed the industry standards, Miss Massey would be alive today because the other cop wasn't gonna shoot her. All right, Mr. Mayor, thoughts here?
I mean, you said it. You said it, Doc. There's no way this man should have been a police officer anywhere. Right. 6 police officers, different law enforcement officers in 4 years. That is absolutely disgusting. On top of that, he had a gun charge, like you said, kicked out of the military for serious problems, serious offenses. And also he made female people female women feel uncomfortable in his interactions with them at other police departments. I don't even understand this. If this ain't a DEI hire, that ain't one.
Yeah, he got his job because of the color of his skin. That's clear.